Hey everybody, it's Traci from Downwarddogrising. Hi there. I was thinking about what to do for a video this evening, and I thought about it would be nice to do a class to help strengthen you for your transitions. So I'm gonna try to be creative because I busted open my knee last week and it's still healing. I can't kneel. And I'm going to think about some transitions we could work on strengthening so that the flow goes a little easier for you. And then also things that I can do where I don't have to kneel on the affected knee. Okay, so with that being said, please join me for yoga for transitions, conditioning yoga drills for helping you transition from one motion into another to make it flow more smoothly and with ease and grace. Because sometimes it's hard for us to switch positions, and it's just easier when you get your muscles used to a certain range of motion and a flow, then it feels like a little more graceful when you get into it and do it. So let's prepare ourselves and do a little exercise to help us get stronger. Okay, join me. First thing that I want you to do, I'm gonna ask you to just do like a little wrist warm up. Clasp your fingertips together like that. And I want you to do these little rotations. Little rotations for the wrist just to warm up. Once you go in one direction, then I want you to go the opposite direction. You may notice that one way is easier to move than the other. And then reverse one more time, little rotations of your wrists. Reverse, little rotations. Sometimes when you think about it, then it eludes you, it goes away. It's weird how that happens. This next one, gently pull down on the fingertips so you get a stretch in your wrist. Switch to the other side, gently pull down on the fingertips so you stretch your wrist out. Excellent. Then from here, I'm going to ask you to press. It's like you're going to intersect the fingertips together. And then I want you to push the two shoulder blades apart in your back. Scoop your abdominal wall tight. And then you're going to inhale, sit tall, lengthen upwards. And then I want you to exhale. Press your two shoulder blades apart in your back. And then you're going to inhale. Stretch spine tall. And then you're going to exhale. Space and width between the two shoulder blades and mid-back. Inhale. Now exhale. 2 more times. You're going to inhale. And then you're going to exhale. And one more time. Breathing in, lengthening up. And then you're going to exhale. All right. Now what I want you to do next, I'm going to ask you to turn to the side. And then to get weight out of your shoulders, do a couple little shoulder shrugs, shrug them up, release down, shoulders shrug into your ears, release the tension through the fingertips down. So you could see they shrug into your ears and then you release the tension back out. Shrug up and then release the tension out. 3 more. And then 2 more, shrugging up, release the tension out. Last one, shrug up, and then release the tension out. Excellent. Okay, now press from under the armpit, down into your palms, lift up through your heart. That way we spread the load of our body across our mid-back shoulder girdle. Fingers can face forward or slightly out to the sides. You don't want the arms way back. You want to have your shoulder, elbow, wrist aligned. And then what I want you to do here, Unweight shoulders, press from armpits to palms, and just lift your pelvis up off the mat. Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, come down. Let's do 4 more just like that. Tighten core to low back, press into your palms, lift your heart. Hold for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, come down. Small little hover, and 3 more. Press from armpits to palms, lift your heart. Hold 5, 4, 3, 2, come down. 2 more sets. Breathe in, breathe out. Unweight the shoulders, press into your palms. Hover. 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, come down. Good. Let's just do 1 more like that. Press from under the armpits down into your palms. Hold for 5, and 4, and 3. 2 more. Last one. Excellent. Why are we doing this? So that all your energy doesn't collect in your wrist joint. You want to spread it from under here, across here. That way, you're supported across your back muscles. The lats run down the sides of the back, big upper body muscle. That way, you're not overloading the wrist and the forearms. Okay, next, what I want you to do, think of a bridge, a suspension bridge, collarbones open far and wide. Now make sure, avoid pinching shoulder blades together. We don't want that. Try to find where they are. Maybe touch them together once. Pull them together. Open them wide apart. Feel how that feels. Spaciousness across the front of your shoulders and chest. Spaciousness across your middle upper back. Now, unweight the shoulders, keeping the spaciousness across the upper mid-back, across the front of your collarbones. Chest is open. Walk your feet out a little bit more. Unweight the shoulders, elevate up. Now squeeze your inner thighs together. Lift up your heart, squeeze your glutes, and hold for 5, for 4. Really lengthen your tailbone. 3, and 2. Gently come down. Excellent. Stretch out your wrists just in case they got involved a little too much. Stretch out your wrist. 1 more. Release. Release. Let's do 1 more like that. Fingers can open wide. Transfer the load from under the armpits across mid-back. Lift your heart. Squeeze your inner thighs. Use your glutes. Abdominals draw in. And hold for 5. Lift heart. Collarbones wide. Hold for 4. And 3, lift your hips a little higher, and 2, last 1, and gently lower down. Excellent. All right. Now from here, just shake out your knees a little bit. Now think of your abdominals, think of like a triangle from where your navel is to where your 2 index fingers come. So think of a little triangle, pull abdominals into the length through the back of your pelvis. Now unweight your shoulders by pressing into your palms. And as you scoop abdominal wall tight, open the collarbones, lift your heart. Now just keep the legs straight and try to hover. Pull the back of the pelvis through the arms and then lower down. Just 3 more like that. Pull the back of the pelvis through the arms and then lower down. Excellent. 2 more times. Pull the back of the pelvis through the arms, lower down, and then 1 more time. Pull the back of the pelvis through the arms, unweight the shoulders, and release. Good job. Now stretch out your shoulder by pressing against opposite side and just gently press across, getting into that center part of the shoulder, that medial deltoid. Relax the top of the shoulder, keep it down away from ear. Inhale, exhale. Gently release, switch. Reach to the other side, and now gently just your hand touches opposite shoulder, and you just glide arm across the front. Hold for a moment, release, and inhale, and then exhale. One more time, you're gonna inhale, and then exhale. So it's really important that we strengthen our shoulder girdle. That way it takes the pressure out of our top of our shoulders superficially, the sides of our neck, also our wrists, so we don't put too much force or pressure. So many times, like, we get wrist injuries because we're not putting the load across the middle part of our back like we should, and then it goes down through the shoulders, down through the arms, and the load is transferred equally across both sides of your body, and then you use a really strong core drawing into the length of your spine, and you're distributing the load of your body through the whole body rather just than hanging in your wrists. So then let's try something where you turn to one side like this, and then you just lift your ribs away from the mat, because if you sink your ribs down, you will sink into your shoulder and you create compression in the neck, and then the shoulder hikes. So we don't want that. So now, to help you doing your side plank, let me have you, this is my affected knee. It's down under here, that busted open. I think I could press sideways a little bit. So I'm gonna try something. If I can't, I'll stop. I'm not gonna bust it open again. So, shoulder is above your elbow. And then I just want you to lift up like that, rise up, press into your forearm, create spaciousness across shoulders, chest, and then come back down again. So we're gonna do a set like that, where you elevate your bottom hip up, chest is open, and then you come back down. And you're just making sure the tops of the shoulders stay down, back, away from ears. Good. If you can totally get your knee underneath you like that. I'm just not able to right now. Do 5, come back in. 4, lift those bottom ribs up, come back in. 3, elevate, lower down. 2 more, elevate, lower down. 1 more time, you're gonna elevate and lower down. Excellent. Swing your legs to the other side of your body. And again, make sure shoulders down and back. You're lifting your bottom ribs up. And then you're gonna lift up. I'm gonna have this knee come a little closer to me. So you're just gonna elevate, get your bottom ribs to lift, and then come back down. You want your bottom ribs to come up as you lift the bottom hip, lift up, and then come back down. You're gonna elevate up and come back down. You're gonna elevate up, use your core, and come back down. And 4. Good. Feel how your shoulder blades anchor down your back. And 3, elevate up. And 2, shoulders stay down and back. Good. 1 more. Exhale. And gently come in. Okay, we're gonna bring our legs around to the other side 1 more time. Now, using that force mechanism, the force coupling of the shoulder, of all the muscles that intersect at the back of the joint, keep the open spaciousness across the front of your shoulders and chest. Shoulder, elbow, wrist are in alignment. So now this time, use that connection from the armpit, pushing, unweighting the top of the shoulder, pushing down into the palm to protect your wrist. Now what I want you to do is extend the legs straight out. You could stagger the legs. You're gonna bend the knees, come in. Now think of just like shooting the legs out to the side, and then draw the knees back in. And you're gonna kind of shoot the arm in line under the shoulder, the legs shoot up, and then you come right back in. 6 more. The arm shoots out, you elevate up, sides of waist are long, and then you come back in. And 5, lengthen, lengthen, and then you come back in. 4 more. Exhale, lift. Gently come back in. Spread the weight across the shoulder blades in your back. Lift up. And 3. Inhale, exhale, shoot the legs out. 2 more. And inhale, keep the width across chest, shoulders. Exhale, last one. Inhale, exhale, lengthen. There you go. Excellent. Gently come in. We're just going to swivel our legs to the other side of our body. And then I want you to think of the same mechanism we just used. Collarbones wide, space mid-back between the shoulder blades. Shoulder, elbow, wrist. Okay. We want to be able to push the legs long, lift up your pelvis, and then just press into that hand. And inhale. And then you exhale. Feel the sides of your waist elongate. You inhale. Push. Exhale, rise up. Inhale, come back in. Exhale, push, rise up. Inhale, come back in. And inhale, exhale. Really press from the armpit into that palm. And 4, lengthen, lengthen. Come back in. 3, exhale, lift those bottom ribs. And come back in. And 2 more times, lift up. And come back in. 1 more time, press, lengthen, and then gently come in. Excellent. All right. So then how is a way to use the back of your shoulder girdle effectively? And now maybe just press against one side, press the other way, get your wrist to stretch a little bit more. Inhale, and then exhale. 1 more each way. Excellent. All right. Okay, next, what I want you to do here. So for the transitions, that helps open the chest, keep space between the shoulder blades. So next, what I want you to try, we're gonna go to hands and knees. I'm not gonna be able to kneel though, so let me think about this one real quick, because I want you to be stronger pressing into your down dog. Let me think about how I'm gonna do this with my knee. I think I can hover the one knee so it doesn't touch the floor. So you would come onto all fours. I'm just gonna hover this one up. So you're on all fours, and then basically, I want you to try a knee float. Let's do 8. You're gonna float the knees, tighten the core, tailbone long, come back to the mat. Both knees come down. I'm just keeping my one knee up. Lift up for 7, tailbone long, lower back down. Your toes are curled under, stand on. And 6, tighten the core, tailbone long, and lower down. 5 more, exhale. Lift abdominal wall to low back. 3 more, exhale. 2 more times, you're gonna exhale. Blades anchor into your lat muscles in your back. Again, you're going across shoulder girdle, not collecting energy in your wrist. Okay, next, pull your heart forward through the arms. Drop your sits bones back to the backs of your thighs so there's 2 energy lines, one running down, one running forward. Float your knees up, stretch your hips back, pull your body apart, and come back. Kneel. Now pull your body apart. Palms push one way, your feet press the other way. Lengthen through backs of thighs. Your heart pulls forward through the arms, and then lower down, and then lift back up. Energy lines opposite directions. Next, look towards me so your neck elongates, and then come back onto all fours, and then stretch palms away, stretch heels away, press into the bottoms of your feet. Slowly you'll get your calves to stretch more and more, and feel how your hamstrings elongate. Pull apart, oppositional energy, come back in, inhale, And then exhale, you're gonna pull apart. Inhale, elongate the spine. Exhale and pull apart. And 3 more, head away from tailbone, spine is neutral. Press palms away from armpits, sits bones reach to backs of thighs. 2 more. And inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, pull apart. 1 more time. You're gonna inhale. You're gonna lengthen your spine. And now you're gonna exhale and pull apart. Breastbone through the arms. Sits bones pull back to backs of thighs. Travel down the hamstring, back of upper thigh. Travel behind the knee to the calf. Gently dropping your energy down through those heels, wherever they go to. Heels lift, heels lower. Stretch your low back apart. Look towards knees, lengthen the back of your neck. 7. Heels lift, heels lower. 6. Chest is still open. And 5. Your shoulder blades still lengthen down your back. And 4. Pull apart. And 3. Feel the body stretch and elongate. And 2. Last one. Awesome. Now from here, come into a plank. Tighten abdominals to back. Now, from your plank, what I want you to do here, think of pulling your shoulder blades deeper down the sides of your back. The weight is opening the collarbones wide. Shoulder blades anchored. Palms press the mat away. Fingers are wide. Now really lift the abdominal wall into your spine. And then from the core, the energy goes up the spine to the top of the head. From the core, the energy goes down the legs into the feet. Pull apart, lengthen, scoop your core. Circulate that energy up and down the body. 7. Stop if there's too much weight and the wrist. 6. And 5, you want to distribute the weight. 4, feel your glutes engage. Feel the inner thighs pulling together. And 3. And 2. Last one, good job. And then from here, go back into a rest pose where I'm going to do just the one leg. Sit back like this, hip over heels. And just gently stretch arms forward. It's like you're stretching your arms over. Breathe in, breathe out. And inhale, exhale, pull apart. And inhale, exhale. Really stretch your spine, oppositional energy. Slowly pull your heart through the arms so your elbows connect to the floor. And then transition by coming all the way into your mat. All right, so we just dropped our pelvis into our mat. Okay, next, I want you to feel from the area between your 2 shoulder blades, the middle part of your back, that's your thoracic spine, and then rather than lead with your neck, our cervical 4 vertebra and 5 can get overused where they go back and forward all the time in the same spot and there's wear and tear. So I want you to think of when you extend your spine, you're going to pull your heart through the arms, and I want you to think of the head coming up last. So instead of initiating an extension by throwing your head up and back, think more of the head comes up last. You pull your heart through the arms so that when you lift away from the mat, say if you were lifting here, this part of the neck stays stretching long. You pull your heart forward. And then think of like a little light shining through the top of your head. So then it's like you're going to elevate, head comes up last. So you're initiating from the center part of your back. So you're going to elevate, head comes up last. Inhale. Exhale, tighten your core. The higher you lift up, the lower down your back you're going. So then, if you were to take your hands out here, you want to make sure that it doesn't scrunch your shoulders into the ears and it doesn't make the low back bunch together. So you want to really feel the energy traveling through your body from your center. So if you elevate, it should still feel comfortable, and it should feel like you have length also in your neck and your spine. Your elbows point down, and then you would just push away, lifting up. Your core draws into spine, and then lower down. And then I'm going to take you into a smaller lift where your elbows are going to bend to the sides. And then I just want you to have your hands come under your chin. And then I want you to do little hovers where you tighten into your core. You float up, and then you lower back down. When you do this, make sure that you avoid pushing your belly outward. Your belly pulls in, lifting into the back area. So you're going to elevate, exhale, pull the core in, and then carefully lower back down. So you would exhale. Think of zipping up from pubic bone to navel. Exhale. In yoga, you have locks like Mula Bandha. Inhale, exhale. Abdominals connect. Inhale, exhale. Use your core, come back. Inhale, exhale, hover. That way you're not leading with the neck, overusing those vertebrae. 4 more. And 3. Breathing in, breathing out, elevate. And 2, inhale, exhale. And last one. So this will help with your extension transitions, and gently release down. Okay, stretch side of neck just by placing your forehead on the backs of your hands, and then just do a little side to side. Release the sides of your neck a little. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Gently release back to the center. Excellent. All right. And then I want to think if there's something else I want to go over to help you. Let's do something for your low back. We're going to turn onto our back. And then what I wish for you to do, if you can feel where you're in neutral spine, so your 2 hip bones are going to face the ceiling. And then I want to introduce something where it's deep core connectivity, deep core connections, reaching through the pelvis across to the other side on each side of your spine. And then that way we get motion in your pelvis. So we have a neutral spine here. So your back just is laying into the mat. Now, without forcing the bones of your pelvis to shift back, I want you to go into the soft tissue of your abdominal wall, and I want you to start pulling inward. And as you pull the soft tissue of your abdominal wall in, you're going to feel each side of your lower part of your spine drop into the mat. We never force our low back against the mat. It's more about the front coming in to meet the back. And then what you'll notice is the back elongates as it imprints and flattens into the mat. And then you can inhale, release that abdominal tone a little bit, and then you're going to exhale, pull in tight, create the length all the way from the pubic bone all the way up to the navel in the front. In the back, you're going to feel the low back, the tailbones on the mat, the sacrum lengthen, lengthen, lengthen into the lower part of the lumbar spine. So now you're gonna go exhale, move hips back, and we're gonna tilt our entire pelvis. This is a posterior tilt going backwards. And now you release. We don't want to grip our glutes at all. When we bridge, our glutes work, of course, or else you're going to get a huge hamstring cramp if your glutes aren't working. But for here, try to release your glutes. Work intrinsically from your core. Exhale. Get the deep core connections going. Exhale. Roll back. I'm making my glutes turn off for now. 4. Let your back, you're going deeper into layers of tissue. 3. Inhale. And this would help you with your cat-cows on all fours, getting that motion in your spine. Doing the same kind of motion with your cat. And then your cow. Cat. Here's the cow, your extension. Here's the cat, the spinal flexion and lumbar. 4, here's your cow, but we're lying on our back. Here's your cat. 3, scoop inward. 2 more. And then last one, exhale. Come back. Neutral is in between the 2 tilts. So then if you're going up into a bridge, and then to get the weight right where you want it, when you do like a shoulder bridge, we don't want to put the weight in our head and our neck. We have to go a little bit lower than that. So then if you create that open spaciousness across the front of your shoulders and your chest, and then you create the elongation of your low back, lengthening, you're in your neutral, your hip bones face the sky. Then you push into all 4 corners of your feet. You're going to stretch the tailbone long away from you. Notice how I can lift my head slightly because I'm not putting all the weight in the cervical neck vertebra. And then when I get in the right spot, I have a place to rest my weight. And then all of a sudden it just opens across the front of my shoulders and chest. So this will be beneficial to you when you want to bring those shoulders down and back, clasp the hands under your body. You could press your hips up a little higher without putting the weight in your neck. It's across the shoulder blade shelf. Your tailbone lengthens and your chest really opens up. That's what we're looking for. So you feel that space and that length. Your joints are aligned and you're in a safe spot. Gently unclasp, and then you would just lower your pelvis, your hips straight back to the mat. And then that's how you give yourself support and protection so that you know your core is pulling into your back and you know you're not putting all the weight into the cervical spine, neck vertebra. And then let's just hug in, hug the knees towards you. And just feel how your spine is lengthening into the mat. And then I just want to show you one more thing about your thoracic spine. I'm going to grab a wood dowel. Let me grab a wood dowel. I want to show you something. Okay, if we let our ribs pop up to the ceiling, it's going to affect our spinal alignment. So what I want to show you is to help so that your ribs avoid popping. Like if you're up in a bridge and you pop your ribs, you're going to lose the alignment through the middle part of the back. So I'm just trying to protect your spine and put the weight in the areas where it can help hold it. So here's something you could practice. Trying to think, this is a Pilates wood dowel. So I mean a baton, a broomstick at home, a mop handle, different things you could use if you don't have a wood dowel handy, curtain dowel. I want you to just hold a dowel, pull your hands apart so that you activate the muscle under your armpits, and then I just want you to go ahead, reach your arms behind you, until your ribs, I'm going to exaggerate. Did you see that right there? My ribs popped up. So I don't have shoulder girdle stability if I pop my ribs up like that. My ribs are totally flared and it changed the whole alignment of my spine. And then sometimes we might overstretch and this could happen to us and we don't have security, we're not stabilized. So you want to see, if you reach your arms back, you pull your hands apart, see where the ribs start to elevate, and then I want you to start to pull the ribs together in front, like you're buttoning the ribs down together. And notice how the middle back between your shoulder blades lengthens down against the mat. And you're going to feel real spaciousness, elongation of your spine. That's key. So if you're trying to align your spine, your segments, your chakras, you don't want to have your body have energy escape. So what you got to do is find your alignment, pull your ribs down front, stretch arms back, plug them into back of shoulder blades, and notice how you still can have natural curves in your spine. My low back is slightly up, but now my middle back is lengthened. And my shoulders are down away from my ears and I'm getting extension. This would help with your downward dog. When you're pressing your arms one way, you're stretching your tailbone the other way. So just kind of, if you don't have a dowel, you could pull a towel apart, the edges of a towel, pull it apart, plug your arms into your back, pull the ribs forward and down. And it just feels really good in your spine. So different things that you can work on to refine your technique. We're always refining our technique. Everybody, we have, I'm trying to talk like the word everyone, everybody, and then there's like another way to say like everybody, like every body in the world is different, even though anatomically humans have the same features, characteristic, or different characteristics at the same time. You know what I'm trying to say? So none of us have the same exact dimensions in our body. So we just go with where our ribs start to float up, connect them down. Notice when the center part, thoracic spine between your shoulder blades makes contact into the mat. And this would even help you, like if you get the middle part of your spine to drop down into the mat, and then if you stretch arms overhead, you stretch your legs long, you could just feel how the placement of your body against the mat feels different now. You're elongated into the mat. And then if you were to roll your body up, there's different reasons why some of us can roll up, some of us can't. A lot of it has to do with your hip flexors, with the length here, with the strength, with the hamstring flexibility, with the low back, especially core strength, hip flexor, the degree of how much flexion you have. So then when you stretch your arms back, you can pull your shoulder blades down deeper. You plug your arms into your back. You get the mid back down against the mat. You get the head lengthening away from the tailbone, and then the back of your upper thighs can push down against the mat. Your abdominal wall is scooping in through the body, front to back, into the length of your spine. And then you could press your heels firmly against the mat. Your legs reach that way out of your center. Your abdominals pull in and lengthen this way through the top of your head. And then in using that oppositional energy, you take an inhale. And then you start to think of an ocean wave. Tighten your core. Exhale. As I was pulling my abdominal wall in, I tried to say wave, and it was hard to talk. So as you stretch up and over the legs, your abdominals continuously they're still pulling into the low back area. So it's like pulling in to the length of your spine, stretching up and over the legs. And then think of pulling those abdominals into the back. Press the heels, press the back of your legs, press those hamstrings. Feel that connection through the front of the body, pulling into the back. And then your tailbone stretches under you, and then you make contact into the mat. Your core is strong, and you're using muscular control to come back to the mat. So that's what I wanted to demonstrate. All right, we're gonna turn to our side. Good job, everybody. Giving you a little tutorial of smooth transitions. And then when you want to come up, think of your inner thighs squeezing together. You can have your top hand, once again, connect from under here, under your armpit. It drops your shoulder. And then in one shot, you can have your entire spine lengthen. And then you just exhale, and it lifts you straight up off the mat. All right. So hopefully this helps. It helps you with your transitions from going from position to position, and it just makes you stronger in the right places. All right, thanks for joining me. If you like doing this kind of stuff, make a little note at the bottom after my video, and I'll do more stuff like this to explain how to refine your technique. All right, thanks everybody. Feel blessed and at peace. All right. See you soon. Bye.